Hey there, thanks for clicking on the link to be able to request a copy of the updated 2018 budget and spreadsheet that I create on my blog, The Extra Income Project. It's on its way to your email address right now. But first, let me ask you something. Would you like to be more in control of your money so you can become debt-free or achieve your savings and investments goals faster? If you're carrying debt at the moment, can you even begin to imagine what that would feel like to have all that debt paid off? Probably tell me it'd feel amazing, right? It'd free you up from all the stress and anxiety that comes with repaying debt. Or if you've just got savings and investments goals, what would it feel like to be able to buy a car or go on a holiday without thinking about taking out a loan or an overdraft or turning to credit cards? What about building a college fund for your kids more easily, or being able to pay a mortgage off faster, saving yourself hundreds and thousands of dollars in the long run? Now, you've probably tried to get a handle on your finances in the past. A lot of people seem to struggle with understanding where to get started. Maybe you've tried implementing a budget and it just hasn't quite worked out for you. And maybe you're just struggling to be able to get from where you are to where you want to be. If you watch through to the end of this video, you're going to discover a way to get a grip of your finances and smash your financial goals this year. My name is Lloyd Phillips, and I run a personal finance blog at theextraincomeproject.com. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, I was drowning under a burden of debt that went into the hundreds and thousands of dollars, and that didn't even include my mortgage. It all started in 2006 during the financial crisis, which impacted my outgoings across the board beyond words. And then a series of problems hit me one after the other, ranging from bad clients and partners in business to some serious health problems, each of them preventing me from getting back on my feet. My debts relentlessly were hammering me down as I started to struggle with the burn of interest and penalties. And when I tried to talk to the banks and lending companies about my situation, they just didn't seem to care. At times, I felt like I was just working my ass off to try and get out of this hole. I felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck, busting my gut for the bank and the taxman. I was just stuck in a rut and I just didn't seem to be able to get ahead. And the harder and harder I worked, the more money I made, but then the more the taxman wanted. And I ended up in this downward spiral that I just couldn't get out of. And that wasn't the worst thing. The harder I worked, the more I started to burn out. And then 4 or 5 years ago, I hit rock bottom. And that's when I kind of came to an epiphany. So I decided to change my approach because quite frankly, what I was doing back then just wasn't working. I put a handbrake on my finances and got visibility and control over my position. First, I tried budgeting software, thinking it would make it easy to get the insights into my spending and habits. I tried desktop software and online solutions, and they were either too complicated, didn't work, or they were just too hard to use. And when they did work, I couldn't plan effectively into the future. They didn't show me the impact small changes and emergencies would have on my financial plan down the line. And then I tried my own budgeting spreadsheet, which was a lot better, but it wasn't quite working. I was spending 1 to 2 hours a week updating transactions. I didn't want to be spending that much time. I didn't have that much time. So I started to look at finding solutions to the problems that I was facing, and I eventually came up with a budgeting system that took me 5 to 10 minutes every week to update. Now, the struggle before was significant. There were just too many bank accounts, too many transactions, and figuring it out all became overwhelming at times. I started to wonder, why is this so hard? So I started to talk to friends and family and work colleagues about what they were doing. And what I found out was actually quite shocking. A lot of these people were in the same boat. And this wasn't an income issue they were facing either. These people were on 6-figure salaries with the seemingly successful life. They had the nice car, the nice house and holidays abroad. But just like me, they were living paycheck to paycheck, struggling and quietly in fear that if they lost their jobs tomorrow, they wouldn't be able to cope. And then I started to realise, this is not just me. And the more I started to think about it, the more I started to understand that the world we live in is against us. Think about it for a second. Were you ever taught how to manage your money effectively at school? I certainly wasn't. And if you're not lucky enough to have parents that teach you this thing as a child or a teenager, you're pretty much left to figure this thing out for yourself. And then the banks make it easy for you to get into a mess because it's good for business if you need credit on a regular basis. And then you've got the barrage of marketing messages from companies asking you to buy the latest thing. You just don't stand a chance until you take a look at what is happening with your finances and understand why. Now, one surprising thing that I learned of getting visibility over my finances is it's the smallest things that make the biggest holes in your pocket. I wouldn't have believed it. It's the stuff you wouldn't realise. It's so easy to miss when you look at your bank statements. And you can only regain control when you see the bigger picture. And this happened to me when I finally got my budgeting system working effectively. I figured out how to map out money and structure finance in such a way that it made it easy for me to update every week. I implemented a bunch of tactics that helped me destroy debt fast and simplified everything. I opened up incredible insights into my income and expenditure. And once I understood what was happening with my finances, I was able to change my habits. And then finally, once I'd implemented my budgeting system, I was able to pay off $5,000 of debt in just 6 weeks. And I was able to do that by seeing where my money was going and shift it towards high interest debt. And the longer I stuck with it, the easier it got. And the more I changed, and then everything started to snowball in the right direction. And that's not even the best part. I had this level of visibility and control over my finances that I'd never experienced before. And with that, I was able to easily make a plan to achieve my financial goals. I was able to see exactly where my money was going. I was able to see where I was falling down and exactly how much money I needed to put into my pocket each month by making simple changes. And since then, year after year, I've nailed my financial goals. 2 years ago, I paid off about $25,000 of debt. Last year, I paid off over $60,000 of debt to finally get to a place where I can honestly say I feel financially free. And I can tell you, it just feels incredible. I actually feel quite liberated. All of a sudden, the world just feels full of opportunities I could never take advantage of before. I feel like I've regained control of my life. But it's not just me that this has helped. I started my blog at theextraincomeproject.com to document my learnings and teach people about managing money and generating extra income on the side. And not too long ago, I received an email from a lady named Elizabeth, who wrote to tell me how my budgeting system had helped her and her husband pay off $22,000 of debt and helped them avoid taking out a loan when their car broke down. They'd tried plenty of other budgeting systems before that had never helped, and they wanted to express some gratitude for the help that I'd provided them. I was absolutely blown away that the very same outcome I had experienced by implementing and using my budgeting system had been shared by somebody else, and to such a similar extent. And that's why I've created the Better Budgeting course. Now, this course aims to teach you how to start managing your money more effectively using the budget spreadsheet I created. I teach you how I structure my finances to make it easier to manage and track your money in less than 5 to 10 minutes every week, something that used to take me an hour or two beforehand. Now, this system has come from years of struggling and tweaking and learning and often painful experience, but finally landing at a system that works is totally worth it. On the back of my financial achievements last year alone, I can absolutely say it's so totally worth it, and I'm sure Elizabeth would agree. This course is going to help you get visibility over your cash so that you can make changes that will put more money back in your pocket. It'll help you form a plan for your cash so that you can work towards your financial goals and get there much faster. Whether that's paying off debt fast, or saving for a holiday, or maybe even paying your mortgage off faster, the system's going to help you get there. And because life happens sometimes, you'll also learn how you're able to assess the impacts of any changes or emergencies that happen, so that you know exactly what you need to do to stay on track with your goals, or when you'll be able to get back on track with your goals if you're knocked off. And I didn't realize this at the time, but having this visibility and control freed me from the stress and anxiety and worry that I was experiencing before. There was no more missed payments, no more financial penalties. I was able to plan regular payments that I could afford that helped me pay off debt faster. I was able to automate those payments so I no longer needed to even think about them, which meant I could focus my mental energy on the positive aspects of the budget, like raising my income and saving money on expenses. And you see, this is how it snowballs. As you see the results, which may come slower at first, you start to feel more positive and more determined, and That's when the magic happens. Now, for less than a cost of a meal out, or a week's worth of coffee, you can get access to all the experience that I've poured into this course. I should be charging well over $150 for this information. I mean, let's face it, this system helped me pay off $5,000 in 6 weeks and $60,000 last year alone. It's helped Elizabeth and her husband get on top of $22,000 of debt inside a year and deal with unforeseen car expenses without needing to take out a loan. Now, if all this course did was help you pay off a portion of your debt or helped you step towards your savings goals a little faster, would it be worth it? If all this did was simplify budgeting and managing your money and helped you understand how to do that faster, would the time savings be worth it? I'm not going to charge you $150. I'm not even going to charge you $100. I'm only going to charge you $37 today because you're going to be getting early access to this course as I build it out. And once it's completed, the price is going up. But I'm going to do one more thing for you here just in case you're sat on the fence, because I really want to help people this year get to this feeling that I'm experiencing right now. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take on all the risk because I remember what it's like to be in a position of debt. Prior to getting my budget in place, when money seemed to be flowing out of my life faster than I could get it in, $37 seemed like a lot of money. Now I'm certain if you take action on this course, you can absolutely make it pay for itself. So here's my better budgeting guarantee. If you take action on this course, if you complete all the modules and you can't make this course pay for itself by saving $37 or increasing your income by $37, then I'll give you your money back. I'm so confident that this can help you get where you want to be faster. I mean, I was able to take a grip of $5,000 almost immediately. But you have to act now, because I'm going to take this offer down over the next couple of weeks, and when it returns, I promise you the price is going up. So you need to take action now before you miss out. Just for a moment, imagine your life a year from now after you've regained control of your finances. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Let's get you there faster. Fill in your credit card details and click submit on the form below, and I'll send you an email giving you access to the course and we can get started. Good luck.